Hello, and welcome to the Family Pulpit podcast. This is your co-host, Ezra. I am here with my gaming headphones.
Fancy, because last time you didn't have any headphones at all.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
I didn't even notice. I don't even remember.
In the gaming headphones, how do I sound? Okay or no? Not okay.
You sound like normal.
Because I don't like these headphones that I have on today.
Oh.
You've got gaming headphones, and now I need to get my own headphones.
I bought the gaming headphones because I was at a Moana store, and I've recently started playing Fortnite, like a little bit, not even that much at all, like whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Roughly 90 minutes a week, and
whoa, that's a lot of time.
No, it's not.
Okay,
I sleep like 20,000 times that. So this is an episode about aliens. It's an unscripted, so I can feel free to talk about like stuff that I think about right now. Like right now I'm trying to download Call of Duty simultaneously while recording a content.
It is an unscripted, but as we've learned from the previous two unscripteds,
we do not want to talk about Call of Duty. That is a big thing.
No, we don't want to talk about Avengers. We don't want to talk about Skibbity Toilet, Brain Rot, or what was the other ones?
I think that was it.
So what I mean is despite the fact that this is an unscripted, what we need to do is we need to stay on task.
Okay.
So our topic for our unscripted,
Two things before we stay on task.
Yeah.
One, I'm going to have to turn my computer in a second so I can see what the download progress is.
No, we're not going to check that until we're done with this, and then you can have a complete and total surprise.
And it's going to be 10%.
10%, exactly. Yes.
Just like, dude, if you guys have ever tried to download Fortnite on PC, you know the pain that you go through. Every season update, it takes literal 48 hours to download.
I feel like there's been at least 10 season updates since like March. It's like every week there's
two
an update.
seasons in the chapter.
Okay.
There is.
So,
wait. Second thing.
Yeah.
My company, TechSec, it is a child company. If you want to go Godot terms or Godot, it is actually just got an $80 paycheck.
And TechSec has its own YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Go subscribe to that as well. If you're not subscribed to ours primarily, but ours is actually, my TechSec channel is actually more primary than this one. Just saying.
Okay.
Yes, it's actually run by my friend Mitchell. He runs the whole channel. He posts all kinds of trailers. He also has his own channel, Medieval Taco. I have like 4 channels other than this one that I don't post on as much, including Prometheus, My Master Ninja, Super Steve, this one, and then I think I have a private one called Ezra that I just do on my laptop. I used to do that. I kind of abandoned it because I listen to YouTube on Super Steve because my algorithm is perfected.
Okay. So I don't know if that counts as an introduction to this unscripted or not.
Yeah,
Maybe it does. But we want to talk about aliens. Like, let's pick up on this subject. This is a major subject. So the reason why it's major is because it's been talked about in the news. It's been talked about on podcasts. It's been talked about in social media by the government, by the president, by the Secretary of Defense, by the vice president, by congressmen and women. It's been talked about over and over and over again. So it's a hot item. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. What have you heard being discussed, or have you seen anything that's being discussed on this issue of aliens?
No.
Okay. So
I have not, because I don't know if you guys know, but I do not have phone. I mean, technically I have 2 phones.
But you've heard me talk about it basically, right? That's it.
The only thing I have is a Twitch account, and that's because I wanted to troll YouTubers one time.
Okay, that aside, what about in your Week Junior?
No, surprisingly
have they talked about aliens?
Because I haven't read my Week Junior.
Okay,
in like 2
well, it's a big
months.
topic. I've had like 4 or 5 notes from the pulpit that have talked about this in the last probably couple weeks, and I went back and listened to Unscripted Part 2 or Unscripted Episode 2, I should say. We had 19 minutes at the end of it that was devoted to aliens, First Enoch, Genesis 6, Nephilim, and I put that up on YouTube as its own standalone. That's right.
Popular.
Back in November, we were well ahead of the game.
I'm going to give you $4,237 and predict, as a bet, to predict that the actual order of the week has alien stuff in it.
The older what? The older week?
The adult.
Maybe.
I will bet you $4,832, which is not what I said originally. I changed my bet.
Okay.
$4,832.
So here's what's going on, okay? there have been some whistleblowers in the government, and I would say thank you.
You're welcome.
I would say that happened probably last year, maybe the year before that. That was talking about different alien crafts, and when we use the term alien, what we need to say is
Let's define alien. Let's look up the Webster's. Look up the
alien.
Webster's.
Alien evokes like a little green man image, right? So we don't want to say that. And alien just means someone from the outside, someone from the outside that comes in.
Alienate, and alienated.
Yeah.
The three
Okay.
forms really of the word.
So what we're
Alien is a noun, alienate is a verb, and alienated is an adjective.
So do we really want to say like an intelligent being?
Sure.
So they're because
here's my definition. I always do really good definitions. A foreign and universally foreign, like out in the universe, intelligent being that may have any form, including the form of ours or the form of a demon. Oh wait, let's talk about our road to cousin's house talk. We had a great talk then, and I had a bunch of theories. It was my theory of governmental something, but I'm gonna rename it right now. Governmental embodiment.
Before you talked about the government embodiment, let's just lay the landscape out for us. So we've got disclosure that was a disclosure statement that was an executive order by President Trump, and if I remember correctly, he signed it in February, and it basically said all of the government's classified files were going to be unclassified or declassified, I should say. They were going to be released to the public.
Bro, isn't it funny that they followed the Epstein files directly with alien files?
Oh, yeah. That is kind of interesting.
Anybody think it's odd that there's a character called like Josh Epstein or something from Gravity Falls? Did they just predict 2026 file release?
I don't know. But anyway, the disclosure was signed by the president, and now the government is releasing all of these files, and there's supposed to be another big disclosure drop coming up this week, and today's the 19th of May, 2026.
Is it really?
Yes, so there's a drop coming soon. There was a drop like within the last week or so. Apparently 1 billion people have visited that site, but the files are
billion.
Yes, with
by
a
the
B.
words of Joel Salatin.
But they're the files are about like you would expect. And I mentioned this on my Notes from the Pulpit podcast that they're grainy videos. They're like Loch Ness Monster.
Do we not have 4K,
They're Nessie.
guys?
Huh?
Do we not have 4K?
Do we not have 4K? Do we not have cell phones? Are there not literally billions and billions of cell phones? This is one of the things, the objections to this is how come we don't have high quality cell phone video? How come nobody else is seeing this?
Did they not know that in Avengers they were using the phones to search for the Tesseract? Every single phone, if it had a camera and an internet connection or satellite connection, they were gonna use to search. It's in Avengers, the first one.
So you got the disclosure that's come out, okay? We don't know what it is that they want to release, and we don't know the truthfulness of it. But alongside this disclosure, there have been congressmen and women who said these, we'll call them intelligent beings or alien life forms. They've started making the connection that they're demons. They started making connections with First Enoch, which talks about an episode from Genesis chapter 6 and the Nephilim, which depending on your view would be, could be fallen angels that came down and started having marriages and relationships with women and gave birth to basically giants. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got this is what's happening right now. And I frankly find it fascinating because it came out of nowhere essentially. And now they have tagged on all of these spiritual elements to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's outside of it's not just a physics issue. It's not just a matter of physics. It's not just a matter of astronomy or like NASA or something like that. They've added a theological component to that, and I think that's very dangerous.
All right, I'm going to talk about. Can I talk about my theory of governmental embodiment?
Yes. Before you do that, let me just say this, okay? The reason why that I think this is coming up now is, as I've stated in other episodes that we've done, we are in a post. Sorry about that. We're in a We don't have a pop filter on there. We're in a We're in a post-COVID truth environment, a post-truth environment. So what I mean is during COVID, there was all of this institutional distrust that came up. People questioned the truthfulness and the validity of government institutions, of medical institutions, of educational institutions, of theological and religious institutions. All of our institutional knowledge and foundation that we had prior to COVID was brought into question. And so that created a truth vacuum. And into that truth vacuum can come any manner of deception or disinformation or misinformation. And that's why I think the alien stuff has come out now. And people love it because they already have a distrust of institutions. And now all of this where people say, do your own research. Well, I've done my research. I've done this and that. And I'm like, what are you researching? You're researching the internet.
The key prefix is re.
Re. Yeah. So that's the background. We're in a post-truth environment after COVID, and it's making us what I titled one of the notes from the pulpit. Are we ripe for deception? RIPE for deception. Now, what was one of your theories on this?
Okay. Governmental embodiment. This is the theory that the government goes and builds biomechanically the bodies for these aliens, however they may, like whatever. And then the demons come down and inhabit those bodies. So there's two support theories for this. One, clearly demons have been able to inhabit any living body. Clearly, like, a demon isn't going to come here and inhabit this camera and then start spying on me.
Okay.
But technically
a life form.
But like a biological being. So
okay.
Like there are the pigs in the New Testament. I think that was like Matthew or John.
Yeah. So
wait. The second.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Second theory. The three motives for this could be A, forced to by the demons. B, they are worshiping the demons and they're like, you know what, we might as well help them out. And then 3, they do it without knowing.
Dude, that actually is pretty good. So let's hold on to that theory and let's develop that a little bit more. So when we look at scripture, and I brought this up in one of the Notes from the Pulpit episodes, but when we look at scripture, I wasn't sure. In fact, I didn't find any examples of demons that weren't embodied or what's called corporeal, meaning they'd take on a bodily form. Like you mentioned, the demons that had possessed the man in Matthew, Jesus comes to cast them out, and they say, "What have you to do with this? Our time has not yet come. Like, why are you here so early?" And Jesus casts them out. And they say, hey, throw us in those pigs. Don't just cast us out of this body. Throw us in the pigs over there. Man, we are really popping with the peas today. I'm not sure what's up. Don't do that because I've listened to it before in cars or headphones, and it really hits the headphones hard. But anyway, so he casts them out and sends them in the pigs, right? In fact, in that passage, it says that when they're cast out, they basically go like into this waterless zone, like this zone where they have no body. They're just basically wandering around aimlessly. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So with that background, and then your governmental, did you put a name on that?
Governmental embodiment.
Governmental embodiment with a yawn.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying, and we talked about this in the car ride, you're saying that what could potentially happen is that the government, and by that, it may not be just the U.S. government. It could be multiple governments working in collusion together. Or it could be just the U.S. government. I don't know. But the theory that you're throwing out there is that they've developed some sort of embodiment program, either 1, helping the demons, 2, they've worshiped for them. What were the 3? And the third one, because they don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. What was the first one? Did I get it wrong?
The first one was the demons are making them.
The demons are forcing them to do it. So against your will, hey, make us an embodiment for us to inhabit.
It's either a threat or
make
they're
us
actually
something.
Possessing them in the first place.
So let's think about this. What do you think the embodiment program would be? Would they be making life forms?
No.
Like carbon-based life forms?
Shoot. Okay, so this is where I thought about this. Bear with me here for a second.
Okay.
I did complete research on trying to create the Avatar bodies from the first Avatar movie.
Ooh,
very extensive research here. Very extensive.
That is good.
I worked on this for a couple weeks, I think.
The Avatar.
So I tried to tell you this in the car ride, but you didn't hear it. I guess
sorry.
It's not right. So, the way you could do this, we were gonna slice the human genome in half and replace the other half with Avatar genes that I would make from scratch.
Wait a second. So using your Avatar theory, then the demons could either force against their will.
I think we need to rename this to the theory of Pandora.
Pandora's theory. Pandora's box, even.
No, just Pandora.
Okay, yeah, that was a stretch. My bad.
Yeah, it was.
So the demons could be forcing, or the humans could be helping, or they could be doing this and not even realizing it, creating life form. I would have to argue that it's probably going to be some sort of carbon-based form. It's going to be something that holds life, something made up of water.
Because that's like biology root.
So you're thinking along the lines of Avatar, where they would split the human genome and essentially create a hybrid.
That was the goal of my Avatar project.
Okay, so let's follow this theory out, because I kind of like this. So this organization, we don't know who it might be or what country it could represent.
Let's theorize a name for it.
The deep state.
No.
What?
When?
Theorize what?
The name for this branch, like just a placeholder. What's the branch of the government in Avatar?
Oh, I don't know.
Look that up real quick. I got you. I do better prompts.
Whoa. So let's see if we can pull our thoughts together here, because what I heard today, and this is what I was going to look up after you looked that up, is on Fox News, Jesse Waters had mentioned 4 different life forms that have been discovered. Okay. Unfortunately, when he was doing this, he was citing a podcast that I listened to fairly semi-regularly. I haven't listened to for a while, but Diary of a CEO. The Diary of the CEO guy had 2 so-called alien experts on there, and the one said that there was 4 different body types. Okay,
the RDA.
The RDA is from Avatar.
Yes, the Resources Development.
Go ahead and kind of lay out your theory. I'm going to look up the 4 names that they talked about today to be sure I got those right. But go ahead with what you were saying. So the RDA, whatever you want to call it, this government entity creates these hybrid beings.
Yeah,
and the
so
hybrid
like you
being
would just go in and edit the human like you would a Word document. But like I would compare this to like if you had an Arduino placeholder, kind of like the company did, and you have these different variables. Like for example, the first project they teach you is the Blink project. You go into the auto template, and there's like a variable that tells you how fast the blink is going to be on the actual Arduino itself.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the first project I did. I tried to do like a something detector, and then it ended up ending disastrously. And Dad was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to do it start to finish, like do the actual first thing." So the first thing was blink, and you had to change the variable to your desire, like to make it go faster or slower. The blink period.
Yeah.
So just like that, you go into the human genome, just like an Arduino document, and you type in change the variable. For example, the genome may say human height 5'9". You can change that 4'2".
Okay.
And then you go in hair color white, for example.
Okay.
You change the hair color, no hair. And
I
then you go skin color whatever that could be on the pigment spectrum. And then you go green.
Okay.
And then you go cranium size elongated. You do all these things to make the variable just to your body. And then you put the demon inside of it.
Bro. So you create this life form,
and
which you can have a number of variables, and then the demon can possess that life form.
From the first angle, you would have the alien, or like if the demon's inside of you, or forcing you to do it, it tells you what you're going to change. For the second one, if you're doing it just to help the demon out, you can do whatever you want. Like, you might change it. You might be, you know what, let's just make this kind of like a human. We're going to replicate myself. It's going to be a clone. But we're going to have a little birthmark right here. So they know it's me.
Okay.
Or not me.
Okay.
So the base of this is you'd have to have some sort of human volunteer. And then
you don't even have to have a volunteer now, because they can harvest stem cells. They can do in vitro fertilization where they just grab sperm and eggs. Yeah. So in a laboratory, if we can make babies from a sperm and egg, we can start doing any sort of hybrids. Like they already do clones, right? Like Dolly the sheep was cloned in the 90s, 80s and 90s. Like the technology for this has been there for a long time.
Yeah, also like sometimes when I look at things from movies, like when I'm drafting stuff, I'm like, the government can make this.
Well, look at Jurassic Park,
Come
right?
on, bro.
The stuff that they were talking about in Jurassic Park is actually easily repeatable. Easy. If you had the DNA, you can simply replicate it, right?
If you got the mosquitoes from the embryo, you could take the blood out, and then you had the genomes, and you could print one, 3D print it. Well, just like we're 3D printing chicken nuggets. I saw that on a news thing the other
That doesn't
day.
sound appetizing at all.
It doesn't either. It was really small though, so I'm gonna stick to Chick-fil-A for now. But they may be 3D printing.
I don't eat Chick-fil-A. That's disgusting. So along the lines of what you're talking about and
It's
creating
God's
these
chicken, bro.
hybrids, it's not God's chicken. We're raising God's chicken. We'll be processing them out here
Saturday.
this Saturday. So the four main alien types. I think this actually fits with what you're saying when you're talking about how you can modify and create different. What'd you call them? Like, you can change the different parts.
Let me give you a movie for each of these. Let me give you a movie for
Bro,
each.
let me read them first.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, what were you talking about? You can change the different variables, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Elongated cranium, height,
So I was actually just
color.
working on a Godot or Godot, however you want to pronounce it. And there was a script that made how the player moved. This was my first project. Don't judge me. I do other programming languages, not Godot. But there were specific variables. I had to change some so the character wasn't running too fast or jumping too high. It's kind of like that.
Okay, so if you
That's
took
my
that
example.
same programming logic and you extended it over to the genome in a biological
Yes.
setting, you could
You could do the same thing. You have a Python program and you're programming your machine to write in this stuff.
okay.
Just like a 3D printer, but for genomes.
No, I got you. So the four alien types that were discussed were, number one, the Greys. Those are classic small gray-skinned aliens with large black eyes.
Sign.
Number two were the Nordics. They're human-looking, tall, blonde humanoids, and they were saying they're like 7 feet tall.
Night of the body snatchers.
The third one are the Reptilians, and they said those were upright lizard-like humanoids.
What's that called?
There's been movies
Something
for all of this stuff.
Tomorrow War. That's the third one.
And then the fourth one is Insectoids, mantids, bug-like beings resembling praying mantises. There's been tons of
Tomorrow.
species, maybe even original
Edge of
aliens.
Tomorrow.
And it says on here that the labels came from commentary surrounding claims by physicist Hal Puthoff and astrophysicist Eric Davis, and they discussed on a Fox segment.
Nordics, Reptilians, and Insectoids / mantids.
So let's go back here for just a second, and before we maybe make our conclusion that if these things are real, let's do this. Let's look at this from three angles. Okay, the first angle is that these are real and they actually came from somewhere out there.
All right.
What do you think about that? What are our probabilities for something like that?
Can I go
Are
ahead
there
and
obstacles?
define the other two because I know what they're going to be?
No.
The other one is going to
No.
be it's demons. And...
No. We're not doing that just yet. We got to do an order.
All
So the
right,
first
all
one,
right.
let's presume.
I like to weigh out the headings before we go into
I
the
know.
details.
Let's presume just for a second
All right.
that this first one is that they actually exist somewhere out there.
So we're talking signs here.
We're
so
talking-
that's basing that off the movie.
We're talking that they actually exist. That the encounters that we've seen, the pictures, the videos, the crash, apparently, the technology that's crashed, allegedly, maybe even the bodies that they say have been recovered. Let's assume that that's all real.
I have a book.
What's the
I have a
likelihood
book.
that
I
they
have a
come
book.
from?
Occupy them. I have a book.
What do you mean?
I have a book. I'm going to show you.
Okay. Well, what I'm getting at is, what's the likelihood that these things are even real? What's the likelihood? And what do we do? What would we do as believers, especially, if there was undeniable evidence that there were beings that are in outer space? And I'm staring at right now a map of the constellations that says, by the word of the Lord, the heavens were made, and the stars by the word of his mouth. So we know that God is the ultimate creator. So anything that would come along and try to deny God's role as creator, as sovereign, as the providential God of the universe, anything that come along and cause us to try to deny that is obviously false. A psychological operation, right? A psyop. But what I'm getting at is what's the likelihood? What do we do? What would we do as believers if this is real? Would it shake our faith?
No, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay, while you're still looking for that.
Oh, found it.
It shouldn't shake our faith if we're rooted and grounded in God as creator. Then we know that these beings likewise are created. Now, C.S. Lewis, he thought that something could be alive out there. He thought that there could be life forms. And he thought that even they could be on a non-fallen world. And that's not even talking about his science fiction trilogy. That's just some of the thoughts that he had penned down. But from a physics standpoint, is the distance that it would take for a life form to travel here
Billions of
using
miles.
10% of light speed, which is not possible right now. It would take 40 years for someone to travel from the nearest, or something to travel from the nearest star. So on the basis of
Sister
physics, it's unlikely, right?
Yeah, sister has a book called Declaration. They have something called longevity, and like it's a substance that makes you have no aging. So that's one way they could.
So you're saying that if these things were real, there are ways around it. I heard them talking on that podcast that they essentially could bend the space-time continuum and that they wouldn't age at all.
Yeah, that could work.
I just think that we're reaching for stuff. I think we're grasping at straws. If you just understand basic physics, it doesn't seem like that it's possible for someone from another planet to travel here.
Yeah, but if you look at advanced physics, it is.
I don't know. I think it's all theoretical. I think it just doesn't...
I have another book. I will grab it in a second.
This one didn't help us out at all, though.
It's trying to, bro.
What is it you're trying to find?
It's an alien body.
Well, they can't see that.
Oh, whatever.
Let's think about this though. So right now we're on point 1, where we're thinking, what if they are real? And I want everyone that's listening, and I would tell everyone too.
2.6 people.
No, maybe 2.6.
Maybe
We do have like 25
maybe,
countries
maybe
though.
3.0.
What I'm getting at is I don't want anyone's faith to be shaken. Like, it doesn't mean that God isn't God, and it wouldn't mean that God isn't sovereign. All things are in submission to Christ. It does not, wow. It doesn't matter if other life forms actually existed or not. If they do, we should realize, okay, well, God created them too. They too are created beings, okay?
3 things. 1, God sent them there.
Okay.
Humans, maybe they had a bunch of resources there that we don't have. Or maybe God created like some sort of computer there or something. Anything could be like that.
Okay.
2, we left there and then we forgot about it. History was rewritten.
What is it?
History was rewritten.
Okay.
And then 3 would be, I don't know, they really are aliens, but they're stupid.
So let's go to point 2 then. So first point was that these life forms actually exist out there somewhere. The second point...
Wait a minute. Before let me wrap this up. The first one with an equation.
Wrap it up. Oh boy, here we go. So the first point is that these beings are actually real, and they're out there somewhere. And the sightings that we've seen have actually happened, and that we should be comforted as believers, even if they come along and they're violent towards us, that God is sovereign over these things, that God is the ultimate creator of the universe, and that all things are in submission to his hand. Do I think that these things are real out there somewhere? No, I don't. I don't think that, and it doesn't mean, it's not an arrogance to think, well, God's got this massive universe and the humans are the center of it, and how very arrogant of you. Well, no, God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. So when I think of it that way, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty special to be created in the image of God. It's also pretty special that God sent his only begotten son in that image to restore that image and die on the cross for that image. So whether there's alien beings out there or not, it would be tautological. It would be redundant for God to say, well, I made the alien in my image too. It would, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would defeat the purpose of him saying that humans are created. Yeah. So do I think that they exist? No, I do not think they exist.
So my book, what was your number? Let me look it up.
Your lookups here are taking too long. You should have had this material right off the top of your head.
I'm sorry.
Or you should have had them set in here. I'm ready to go to point number 2.
Okay, hang on.
Point number 2 would be that there are no life forms in outer space, and instead that they are some sort of created hybrid for demons to indwell. What do you think about the demon angle, though? Because I think demons have to be embodied. Just based on scripture, I think they have to have some sort of embodiment. I don't think it would be necessary for demons to be traveling via space technology. I don't think it'd be necessary for a demon who can be invisible, by the way. There's no purpose for them to travel in these high-tech vehicles. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point in it. However, if you had inhabited a body, if you were a demon and you had inhabited a body, you're now bound by my did you hear my Appalachian accent come out there?
Yeah.
You're now bound by space and time. And so if you were a demon and you've possessed a being of some sort, a hybrid even, that's been created, and you're bound by space and time, you would want to be able to travel quickly
Okay,
from place to place and point to point.
We have here something called the Drake equation.
Oh, good grief. I told you to read up on the Drake equation 3 weeks ago.
Because I already had.
You forgot about it.
No, I didn't. I showed you it.
Hurry up with what the Drake equation is. Does this go to point 1? Does this go to point 1? No, I can look it up. I just wanted you here with me, and you were out searching for stuff. The Drake equation is the probabilistic argument used to estimate the number of active, communicative, extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. So you guys can look that up. Look up Drake equation on your own and see if there's a calculation. By the way, with respect to the Drake equation, with respect to point number 1, by the way, hey, come back here to me. You. Is Elon Musk, I think, has said that he doesn't believe that aliens exist because they have over 9,000 satellites in the sky. I think I have that number right. And none of their satellites have ever picked this up before. So, I mean, you would think that if anyone wanted to swoop in and be the hero and say, yeah, we've got tons of high quality, high definition images and videos of these things, it would be Elon. But he hasn't. And I don't think that he thinks that these things exist. And by the way,
What is his belief?
There was another guy. He's agnostic of some sort, just a hybrid. There was another guy that came out yesterday or the day before. His last name is Weinstein, but his brother's name is Brett Weinstein. He's an outspoken psychologist, I think, or sociologist.
What does outspoken mean?
During COVID, like he's just he has a lot to say, a lot of informative things to say about COVID. Yes. And so his brother came out, who was formerly a believer in aliens, and now says, no, they don't exist. In fact, it's not possible for them to exist. That interview's out there as well. But point 2 is your hybrid theory of demons. I think they have to be embodied. What would we do as believers if this disclosure continues on down the line and comes out, and we maybe have some sort of evidence or thoughts, or the theories begin to grow that, hey, these are actually embodied demons. They've developed some sort of hybrid humanoid, if we want to use that word, so that they can inhabit it. Maybe they want to do that to invoke fear. Maybe they want to do that to invoke panic and chaos. They might even want to do this because they might come along and say, hey, God didn't create you. We actually created you. What do you think to that?
Who is we?
The demons. Oh. The demons that are inhabiting the hybrids. What do you think?
That sounds
This was your theory about the hybrid, plausible. The government theory. Here's what I said on one of my podcasts about this, because I actually brought this up too. I'm not sure if you knew about it. I was letting you go with your theories. So basically our two theories kind of line up independently of one another. But what I was saying is that Satan wants to mimic or imitate God. And where God is the creator of all things and God is the creator of mankind, Satan wants to come along and do those same activities for the purpose of deception. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he wanted to be God. And I don't think it's far-fetched to think that he has or would want to create some sort of life form of his own, in his own image. Do you know what I'm saying? So these 4 different types that they've discovered, they actually could be 4 different attempts at this splitting of the genome to create these hybrids that you were talking about. Am I losing you?
Nope.
Are you checking out on me?
Nope.
This is your theory that I'm working on. Let's go. Do you have anything else to say on that third one?
Nope.
So they're not fallen angels. I mean, they're not angels. That's ridiculous. The people that were talking about this being a wheel within a wheel of one of the images, that's dumb. Listen, anytime aliens show up in scripture, and they actually can take human form, we see that in the Old Testament when the angels appeared to Abraham right before Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. We see that with Jacob, though I think this was a Christophany, when he wrestles the man and then the man injures his hip. So the angels can take human form willingly.
I thought that was Jesus.
It was. I just said a Christophany. That's a appearance of Christ prior to his incarnation. But what I'm getting at is that these aren't angels. Someone, I think it was Anna Paulina Luna, who said that one of the things that we're seeing on these videos, again, it's super low quality, super grainy. You can't even tell what you're looking at. I thought it was a target thing from a gun that she was highlighting. But she said this looks like the wheels within a wheel from Ezekiel. When angels show up, let me tell you something. When angels show up If they do, there is no mistaking them because people fall on their face. They collapse in the presence of angels because those angels have been in the presence of God. So there won't be any mistake about that. And the wheels within a wheel, the chariot of the spirit, it's not going to show up on some kind of alien camera footage. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it doesn't matter. That's crazy talk. So I think the first statement was that, are they real? The second statement is, are they potential demon hybrids? That demons have been involved, Satan himself has been involved in creating in order to mimic God. And the third thing is that this entire thing is fake. The entire thing is a psychological operation.
Which it is.
So when you think about this, number 2 could be a psychological operation to create fear and panic, chaos. Number 3, though, is that the entire thing is made up. The entire thing is the village.
Why isn't Satan just napping because he already knows it's over?
He wants to destroy as many people as he can before it is over. But you remember the movie The Village?
Yeah.
Remember how they had to create this beast in order to elicit fear?
You know how low of an attention span I had with that movie?
Well, I know, but I'm still saying they created this.
I was only like 9 when I watched it. So
it was actually last year that they created this beast, right, to scare people in the woods in order so that they could use that against them. And they kind of used the fear that people had to keep them controlled. So what I'm saying is sometimes psychological operations can be used for the control of people. So if you wanted, what I'm getting at is that if you wanted to use fear in order to control people, you could develop this psychological operation. And nowadays, this is called 5th generational warfare. It means that you use social media, you use fake images, you can even use AI now. I wouldn't trust anything, any videos that I see, I wouldn't trust it. The entire thing can be faked and AI'd. But this 5th generational warfare or the psychological operation can be used to control people. And then on top of that, to administer more control. So if you think about the movie The Village, right? They have the walls, they have the gates, and they're using this monster, this fake monster that they've generated to create fear so people don't go out into the woods. And it makes them think, well, we're backwoods, Quaker-like, Puritan-like, Amish-like people. Instead, they're living in the 2000s, right? There's planes that should be flying over, but they paid people to have planes not fly over them. You remember the concept of the movie? So they were using fear as a psychological operation in order to administer control. That very well could be a possibility, too, that the entire thing is fake. They generate fear. Panic ensues. They say these things are real. They may even show an actual image of one. They may show the technology, a craft that's fallen down or something, you know? But in doing that, they would say, well, you know what? We need to have more control. We need to have cameras. We need to limit people's travel. We need to have more measures for the common good that protect the whole. You know what I'm saying? You follow me? You tracking? Okay. Well, what else? What have I missed? Those are the 3. I don't
think we've missed anything.
1 is that they could actually be real. 2 is that it's potentially some sort of hybrid being for demons to possess. And 3 is that the entire thing is fake.
I believe in 2.
2 is that was your theory from the start. Let's think for just a second.
Is it weird to have a theory that you don't believe in?
No, these are just theories. We're throwing them out there. I'm trying to think, did we miss something? Is there another one that, because we're shooting, this is unscripted. It's not like we've got something
No, am I outroing?
No, but hang on. I know you checked out about 10 minutes ago.
No, I didn't.
You're trying to find your books, but what other options could there be? Come on, you're smart. You're the physicist here. I'm just a geologist. What? I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. What did we miss? Look at your star map and think. What did we miss?
Libra. That's what we missed. Hydra. Corvus,
is there some sort of theory?
Virgo.
Is there some sort of theory that would explain these things other than it being fake, hybrid demon?
Don't be paranoid.
I'm not paranoid. Okay, let me do this then. You can't think, your brain's checked out for whatever reason. As believers, regardless of whether it's 1, 2, or 3, our common hope is in Christ. Yeah. And so our faith is in Christ, and it needs to be founded and rooted in Him. Basically what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what they throw at us. We've got to be prepared to not believe everything that we see and hear, and to get ourselves in God's word. And I would argue even too, with a group of people to talk about these things. They are important. Do you know what I actually think that maybe one of the most important things that should be talked about in churches and Bible studies right now is this. And someone will come along and say, this isn't important. You just need to be studying scripture. Well, we need to see how to apply scripture. And we've got to have people ready so that they're not swept away when this stuff actually comes out full force. Yeah. The timing of this could actually just be a major distraction too, regardless of 1, 2, or 3. All right. Well, I think we've covered about everything. You can feel free to go listen to the notes from the pulpit. I'm driving on those, so I'm shooting from the hip. I talk about Genesis 6. I talk about Nephilim, First Enoch. Oh, excuse me. I talk about First Enoch. The latest one that I did, I talked about the New Apostolic Reformation and their connection to the Nephilim and aliens according to their end times theology. So back in the day, just to wrap this up, but back in the day, there were a couple bloggers that were interested in exposing the New Apostolic Reformation. By the way, President Trump's, some of his key religious figures around him, like Paula White and others, are from this New Apostolic Reformation. The organization, it's not really a denomination, it's cross-denominational. But somebody did some research back in the day to see how they believed that in the end times there would be a return as in the days of Noah. So look for that phrase, by the way, also. Anna Paulina Luna used that. But as in the days of Noah. So they believed that the Nephilim would kind of return and there would be this alien hybrid type thing that comes at the end times. Now, someone could say, well, you just laid that out. You agree with the NAR. No, because they've got some theological things behind them that they're motivated to bring these things out. We're simply pointing out the options. In other words, your theory, the hybrid genome theory that we said was option number 2, it could very well be true, and I would still argue against the theology of the New Apostolic Reformation. So anyway, we have it.
Before we close out here, since this isn't unscripted, let me talk about Guinea Studios real quick.
You're in a plug Guinea Studios then.
This is our sponsor, Guinea Studios. You got to pay me $10.
I'm not. I just paid you.
Wait, I have to pay you.
Oh, uh-oh.
Wait, no, but I am the podcast, so I get paid myself.
Go ahead with your Guinea Studios, and then also be focused when you do the outro, okay?
Okay, so Guinea Studios is my tech company that we're going to be dropping the phone pretty soon in early 2027 is what it's hoped to drop.
Ambitious.
To drop. Yeah.
Okay. Are these going to be like the Trump phones where you grab the phones from 2024 and you...
It's not a bad idea, though.
Refurbished phones, Guinea Studios. It's actually not a terrible idea.
No, it's not. So we're gonna be dropping the phone then. It's called the Retro One. We will be
subject to change, or are you locked in?
What's
the benefit of this phone over other phones?
Well, it's only $399, and the internet
Really?
service,
you have a price point and it's not even been created?
I've crunched some numbers, bro.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. It's gonna only cost like under $100 to make. First of all.
Okay.
It's not gonna cost that much at all. And 2, the internet service is practically free because I don't really plan to make much money off that.
Okay. All right.
The internet service is like $1.50 for basic.
There you have it, folks. Guinea Studios is on the way.
So, but the main thing I want you guys to do right now, you can donate like $10. I only really want $10 from you guys. There's a share where you can like donate $10.
Where?
On YouTube.
On your TechSec?
No, they send it to us, and then it goes straight to TechSec instead of Family Pulpit.
I mean, like, is it on the YouTube channel for Guinea Studios, or is there a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
There's a YouTube for Guinea Studios?
No, for TechSec.
Is there a button on there to give money?
Yes.
That's what I'm asking.
Go over to TechSec and give us money. I don't know if it's available because we haven't verified, but it might be one of those things. So this is
what's called starter money. This is starter capital.
Give us money, and I'll give you my bank account number.
No, that sounds not like a good idea.
8675309.
Okay, on that note, why don't you wrap us up?
Wait. But I want you guys to mail me your computers.
No. They can't send you computers. No.
888.
Don't give out addresses.
Candy Cane Lane.
Keep your TechSec business local for now. Okay. Until you can get a few more computers that you work on and refurbish and get your money for. So what I mean is,
Studio's current money holdings is like $100.
He's refurbishing laptops, computers, other technology, and trying to sell them in order to raise money for his Guinea Studios company. So there you go. Give us the outro,
Support
boy.
Mitchell as well. He's our graphics designer.
Give us
and
the
teacher
outro, boy.
assistant. Looking forward to the podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our podcast platforms. We have extra stuff such as compilations of the pulpit, flips from the pulpit, notes from co-hosts, notes from the pulpit on YouTube. And then we also have our website, familypulpit.com. Southampton Press coming soon.
Southampton Press is coming soon.
voiceoftruthblog.com, which is our OG blogs from years ago.
Yes.
And we also have TechSec. Go check that out.
There is also a potential children's magazine coming soon via Southampton Press.
Yes. And then there's also multiple essays of mine that we might post.
Maybe.
We're going to post, probably dropping my entropy blog on our Family Pulpit site.
Yep.
So
okay, we're out of here.
That's about it. See you.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Yep.
Bye.